Okay guys, today we're going to solve quadratic equations using square roots. So here's an example. We'll be given an equation that says x squared equals 25. We need to get x by itself. We've talked a lot about the opposite or the inverse of squared would be the square root. So we take the square root of both sides. And then the square root of 25, we have to make sure we put plus or minus 5. So a lot of us would just say 5. But if you think about it, negative 5 squared also gives you 25. So when you answer a square root question, make sure you have plus or minus. So another example, x squared equals 49. We know the square root is 7, but our answer has to be plus or minus 7. Again, because negative 7 times negative 7 gives you a positive 49. What about this one? X squared equals negative 16. We can still take the square root of both sides. But when we get here, think about what is the square root of negative 16? Well, if you have positive 4, that would be 4 times 4, which is 16. And negative 4 is negative 4 times negative 4, which is also positive 16. So there is nothing that you can take times itself to get a negative answer. So anytime you go to try to take the square root of a negative, know that you will have no solution. Okay, so make sure you write no solution. And then I just put a little note there. You can't take the square root of negative numbers. Okay, sometimes you'll have a two-step equation. So our goal is obviously to solve for x. So we need to solve this like a regular equation. So we're going to subtract 3 first. When you do that, you have x squared equals 100. Then take the square root of both sides and you get x equals plus or minus 10. I'd like you guys to solve this one. X squared minus 5 equals 20. Okay, this is going to be kind of a three-step equation. Currently we have it equal to 0, but we need to get x all alone. So we first need to move this constant to the other side. So we have 4x squared equals 100. Then divide by 4, so we get x squared equals 25, and x is equal to plus or minus 5. Okay, go back to one step. X squared equals 40. Take the square root of both sides. We have plus or minus the square root of 40. Now that can be put into simplified radical form. If you think about your perfect squares, we have 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. We have to decide if any of those go into 40. Well, we know 4 does, so we can rewrite this as plus or minus the square root of 4, plus or minus square root of 4, square root of 10. And we know the square root of 4 is 2. There's no other perfect squares that go into 10, so our final answer would be plus or minus 2 root 10. Okay, 4x squared minus 24 equals 100. Add 24, divide by 4. That gives you x squared equals 31. Take the square root. 31 is a prime number, so we don't have any perfect squares that would go into it, so just leave it as plus or minus root 31. Last one, I want you guys to solve this and put it in simplified radical form if necessary.